There are two or three things here. We must get back to the issue of genocide. For genocide to occur, there are certain conditions to be satisfied. And I do not think anybody who's familiar with the concept of genocide believes that there is genocide going on. As I said, the vast majority, literally hundreds of thousands of Tamils, live in areas controlled by the government and not in the areas controlled by the Tamil Tigers. So we have to lay aside this entire allegation of genocide. Second, reporters into this area, allowing reporters into this area. The government regularly conducts reporters into areas close to the fighting. It does not allow anybody to go into the area where there is fighting continuing, for the simple reason that it is not safe. You must really have a death wish to want to get into that 30 or 35 square kilometer area, because there is fighting going on, sometimes fierce fighting.
There's no way, as we saw with Iraq, for journalists to be even embedded with the government to get a chance to see what really is happening. So there's no way for journalists to know the truth about what's happening there. I mean, wouldn't the government even benefit if what you're saying is true, that story could be told?
In fact, a week ago, a group of journalists from the BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN, and Reuters and others were taken up by the government. They were conducted around the area. In fact, this will continue to happen. Journalists will be taken up and given access to the front areas. But as I said, we do not encourage anybody to wander around freely in the area where fighting is going on, because it is not safe. And as a government, we do have an obligation to ensure that guests in the country do not come to any harm.
Is there no solution here? Is the question of an independent state out of the question?
Well, can you imagine an independent state being carved out of the 35 square mile area that which Tamil Tigers control, and which they're likely to lose over the next few days or weeks? I think this is not what the majority of Tamils want either. If you were to take the views of the majority of the Tamils, they will say they would rather be part of Sri Lanka rather than be part of this illusory Tamil elam. If you come to Colombo, you will see that the vast majority of the people living in Colombo are Tamils or Tamil speaking. 39% of Colombo, that's our capital, is Tamil. Another 20% is Muslim. So Colombo is a minority city. 59% of our citizens in Colombo are from the minorities, two major minorities. There are other minorities also. And here they go about their lives with no interference. They have their professions. Some of the leading professionals in Colombo are Tamils. Some of the leading business houses in Colombo are Tamil owned. Their children go to school here. They carry on with their lives without interference. It is not the same in the small area controlled by the Tamil Tigers. There was a report issued by UNICEF yesterday that thousands of children, some as young as 14, have been conscripted into fighting with the Tamil Tigers. This does not happen in government-controlled areas. Children go to school. They do not get dragged off to the front line in areas controlled by the government. Similarly, every family has been forced to contribute at least one child to the cause. You do not get that in the areas controlled by the government. My view is that, and I believe that this is shared widely, that most of the Tamils of this country would rather live under government control than under the control of the LTTE.
I have just 30 seconds left, right quick. When and how do you expect this civil war to end?
I wouldn't even categorize it as a civil war anymore. It is a bunch of terrorists who are carrying on an armed struggle, a terrorist struggle against an elected government, a democratically elected government. I hope that it will end soon so that the people of this country can get on with their lives, that normalcy can return. The people want peace, and I believe that they deserve to have peace in this country.
Dr. Kohona, Foreign Secretary of Sri Lanka, thank you for your time. I appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.